All right, buckle up because today we're diving into the states that will pinch every penny you have. These are the places where, if there's a fee, a tax, or a surcharge, they've got it, and they are not shy about taking their cut. We're talking sky-high property costs, relentless taxes, hefty traffic fines, absurd parking fees, and registration costs that might make you question owning a car at all. It's as if these states forgot they're supposed to be serving the public and decided to go full-on corporate, squeezing every dollar like they're answering to some invisible board of investors. To compile this list, we sifted through data on all the sneakiest, most consistent ways these states drain your bank account. Ready to find out which states are after your wallet the hardest? Let's get into it. Number 10, New Jersey. New Jersey is known for its diners, its beaches, and yes, its sky-high taxes. Residents of the Garden State have learned to brace themselves for some of the highest property taxes in the country, averaging a jaw-dropping $9,000 per year. And that's before factoring in the income tax, which hits harder the closer you get to the top tax brackets. If you're thinking of buying a home here, just know that the garden, part of the name, might as well refer to the money you'll be planning in state fees and taxes. Car ownership in New Jersey also comes with a price tag. Not only are car insurance rates some of the highest in the country, but you'll also be greeted with tolls on nearly every major road. From the Garden State Parkway to the New Jersey Turnpike, commuting becomes a daily toll extravaganza, with each trip adding up faster than you'd think. Want to fill up your tank? You'll get full service at every gas station, which might sound nice, but comes with a price bump for the mandatory attendant service. And for those who think they can dodge costs by renting instead of owning, think again. Rental prices in New Jersey are nothing to scoff at. With rents mirroring those in major metro areas, even a small apartment will cost you a pretty penny. Groceries, utilities, and other basics follow suit, with prices that consistently rank higher than the national average. In New Jersey, it's not just about making money. It's about figuring out how to keep some of it. Number 9, California. California. The land of dreams, sun, and shockingly high costs. While the state might attract people with its stunning coastline and mild climate, it has a way of hitting newcomers and longtime residents right where it hurts, their wallets. California's housing market is notoriously brutal, with the median home price sitting around $700,000. In cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, that number skyrockets, leaving the average family paying more than they would for a mansion in most other states. But it doesn't stop at housing. California's progressive income tax tops out at 13.3% for high earners, the highest state rate in the country. Even middle-income earners feel the pinch with rates that quickly escalate. Combine that with high sales tax, often over 10% in major urban areas, and California residents end up paying more for just about everything, from groceries to clothing. And don't forget the infamous gas prices, which consistently rank as the highest in the country, thanks to added state taxes and environmental fees. Utilities, too, are another money drain, as California's push for renewable energy has left residents with some of the highest electricity rates nationwide. While it's great for the environment, it's not exactly friendly to the wallet. So if you're looking to make it big in the Golden State, just remember, it'll cost you a small fortune to get there, and an even bigger one to stay. Number 8, Illinois. In Illinois, especially if you're near Chicago, you're looking at a lifetime of hefty expenses. Illinois has some of the highest property taxes in the U.S., with homeowners shelling out thousands each year just to keep their place. Even outside of the Windy City, the rates are steep enough to make anyone reconsider buying a home. And if you do live in Chicago, brace yourself. Property taxes here can be as high as a second mortgage, draining more cash from your pocket every year. Sales tax in Illinois isn't any kinder either. In Chicago, the rate sits at a whopping 10.25%, meaning every single thing you buy comes with a hefty added charge. Buying a couch? Add 10%. Grabbing a coffee? Yep, that's taxed too. And with taxes on everything from groceries to gas, it's no wonder Illinois residents feel like the state is squeezing them for all they're worth. Speaking of gas, Illinois doubled its gas tax recently, leaving residents paying some of the highest rates in the Midwest. And if you think you can avoid these costs by downsizing or driving less, think again. Illinois has also mastered the art of hidden fees, with extra charges and taxes lurking everywhere, from renewing your license to transferring vehicle titles. For many Illinoisans, the feeling of getting robbed blind isn't just a joke, it's a monthly reality. Number 7, New York. New York has its fair share of appeal. World-class cities, beautiful upstate landscapes, and a culture that's second to none. But all that comes with a price tag that can make your head spin. Between high property taxes, steep income tax rates, and some of the priciest rents in the country, New Yorkers are all too familiar with the state's financial demands. In New York City alone, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment is enough to make most people's jaws drop, often exceeding $3,000 a month. If you're buying property instead of renting, it's not much better. Property taxes upstate are still substantial, while taxes in the city are astronomical. Add in a state income tax rate that's one of the highest in the nation, and you're left with a paycheck that feels like it's shrinking every time you look at it. And if you're in the city, there's an additional city income tax just for the privilege of calling NYC home. It's not just about housing either. Everything from groceries to utilities costs more in New York, with a sales tax in NYC that tops 8.8%. You'll even get taxed on your morning bagel. And driving? Don't get me started. Between tolls for every bridge and tunnel and the inflated cost of gas, you're paying a premium just to get around. New York may have endless opportunities, but it also has endless ways to make your wallet weep. Number 6, Maryland. Maryland might not come to mind right away as a high-cost state, but residents here know the truth. The old line state is a master at making sure you part with every dollar. Between its proximity to Washington, D.C., and a generally high cost of living, Maryland is no cheap place to call home. Property taxes alone are higher than the national average, and for those near the D.C. border, housing prices are enough to make your head spin. Housing aside, Maryland's income tax is also on the steep side, especially when you factor in local taxes that some counties add on top of the state rate. It's a layered system that has a way of eating into your paycheck without you even realizing. For those looking to settle down here, the cost of living is a tough pill to swallow. Groceries, healthcare, and utilities are all pricier than what you'd find in most other states. And it doesn't stop there. Maryland has some of the highest toll fees around, with commuters paying a premium just to get to and from work. Even retirement isn't safe here. Maryland is one of the few states that taxes retirement income, meaning residents keep paying up even after their working years. Maryland might have beautiful landscapes and top-notch schools, but you'll pay dearly for every perk it offers. And that wraps up our first 5 states. Don't go anywhere, because the top 5 states coming up have even more outrageous costs that might leave you clutching your wallet. Hit that subscribe button and keep watching for the states that'll really make you think twice before moving in. Number 5, Connecticut. Connecticut, where the scenic views are plentiful and so are the expenses. With its charming small towns, coastline, and proximity to New York City, Connecticut might seem like the ideal place to settle down. But don't be fooled. Connecticut is infamous for having one of the highest overall tax burdens in the U.S. The state income tax alone will make you wince, topping out at 6.99%. And that's not counting property taxes, which are some of the highest in the country. Homeowners here often pay more in property taxes than they do for food and utilities combined. Connecticut's high cost of living doesn't stop there. Utility bills are also on the higher side, thanks in part to the state's energy policies and colder winters. Heating your home in the winter can feel like you're burning through piles of cash, quite literally. And if you thought driving here would offer some relief, think again. Connecticut has some of the most expensive gas prices in New England, partly due to state taxes. To top it off, the state is notorious for implementing sin taxes on things like alcohol, tobacco, and even sugary drinks. By the time you add up all the costs, Connecticut might have you rethinking that idyllic New England lifestyle. Number 4, Massachusetts. Massachusetts may be known as the state of innovation, education, and history, but it's also a state that's exceptionally good at making your money vanish. Let's start with housing. In the Boston metro area, the median home price is well over $500,000, and rent isn't much better, with the average one-bedroom costing around $2,500 a month. Outside of Boston, things improve slightly, but Massachusetts is generally an expensive state for homebuyers and renters alike. And taxes? Don't even get me started. Massachusetts has a 5% income tax across the board, which might seem reasonable, but add in property taxes that are among the highest in the nation, and you're in for a wallet-draining experience. The Bay State also boasts a sales tax, and while it may be lower than some other states at 6.25% when combined with high prices for essentials, it adds up quickly. Utility costs in Massachusetts are another major expense, with electricity prices consistently ranking among the top 5 in the country. Residents are also familiar with the Massachusetts excise tax, which applies to vehicles and can add hundreds of dollars to your yearly costs. Massachusetts may be a hub of history and culture, but living here can feel like paying premium for every piece of it. Number 3, Rhode Island. Little Rhode Island might be the smallest state in the U.S., but don't let its size fool you. It's a heavyweight when it comes to high costs. Rhode Island's property taxes are infamous, with the state ranking consistently in the top 5 for property tax burdens. Homeowners here fork over thousands each year just to keep their slice of the ocean state, with the average property tax rate hovering around 1.63%. Housing itself isn't exactly cheap either. Whether you're looking to buy or rent, you'll find that even modest homes come with steep price tags, especially in coastal areas. Rhode Island's income tax doesn't cut residents much of a break either, with rates ranging from 3.75% to 5.99%, depending on your earnings. And as for sales tax, Rhode Islanders pay 7% on most goods, which is among the highest in New England. But wait, there's more. Utility costs are high, thanks to Rhode Island's energy policies and geographical limitations. Heating costs are a major issue in the winter, and the small size of the state doesn't shield residents from inflated gas prices. Rhode Island may have charm, beaches, and great seafood, but all of it comes at a premium that'll keep your bank account on a tight leash. Number 2, Vermont. Nestled in the Green Mountains, Vermont might look like a picture-perfect retreat, but it's a place that'll make you pay dearly for that peace and quiet. Vermont's property taxes are some of the highest in the country, and while you might think that's because of large estates or high home values, it's actually due to the state's policies on education funding. Homeowners here are hit with an average property tax rate of around 1.86%, which means owning property in Vermont often comes with a hefty annual bill. And that's just the beginning. Vermont has a progressive income tax system that tops out at 8.75%, one of the highest state rates in the nation. Combine that with high sales taxes, especially in tourist-heavy areas, and you're left wondering where your money's going. For those who aren't careful, simply buying groceries or basic household items can quickly turn into a pricey endeavor. The cost of utilities is no joke either. With long, cold winters, heating costs can skyrocket, and Vermont's electricity rates are higher than the national average. Even fuel costs are steep, due in part to the state's environmental policies and limited infrastructure. So while Vermont may offer breathtaking landscapes and outdoor activities, it's also a state where you'll be shelling out more than you'd expect for the privilege. Number 1, Hawaii. And taking the top spot is Hawaii, the dream destination that's as famous for its paradise vibes as it is for its high prices. Living in Hawaii might sound like a never-ending vacation, but residents here know the true cost of island life. With limited land and constant demand, Hawaii has some of the highest property prices in the country. The median home price? A whopping $800,000. Renting isn't much better, with a one-bedroom in Honolulu averaging around $900 a month. Hawaii's remote location means just about everything is imported, leading to sky-high prices on everyday goods. From groceries to furniture, you'll pay a premium on nearly everything. And let's not forget gas, which is consistently among the highest in the U.S. Filling up your car in Hawaii can make you feel like you're on the mainland, paying in euros. And food prices expect to pay double what you'd spend on the mainland, even for basics like milk and eggs. Taxes in Hawaii add another layer of expense. The state income tax has a top rate of 11%, one of the highest in the country, and the general excise tax, which acts like a sales tax, is applied to almost everything. Utilities, especially electricity, are shockingly high, as Hawaii relies on imported oil for power. So while Hawaii may be paradise, it's one that can easily drain your savings. Living here is a lifestyle choice, and an expensive one. All right, that's the rundown of the top 10 U.S. states that will rob you blind. If you found yourself rethinking your next move, you're not alone. And if you're already in one of these states, hopefully you found ways to make it work without breaking the bank. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more eye-opening lists like this, and remember to be kind to each other out there. See you in the next one.